Good Crafternoon, everyone. Susan Campfield here with SueStampfield.com. Welcome to my stamp room. Come on in. We're going to create together. Thank you for making and sending handmade cards. Every card that you make from your heart and send out is going to make somebody happy, and that just makes the world a kinder place. So thank you for all that you do, because the world needs us right now, and you are all amazing. I hear so many great stories about your different card ministries and reaching out and the cards that you make. It's staggering. So thank you. And I hope in these videos you get a little creative inspiration to get you inspired to make and send even more cards. This is a special video today. This is my Crafternoon video. This is a class video, so people who placed a hard to talk today. People who placed a qualifying order in July got a packet in the mail to make this card along with me. Also, my amazing, they're the kindest people ever, Stampfield Stars team of demonstrators received the, they got to see a sneak peek of the fold that we're doing today in our Thursday night video, and they got a complete sheet with all the dimensions so that they could cut their own packet and make it along with me. I do this as a public video, so anyone is welcome to watch. There's also a very detailed tutorial available for purchase, and it's there now. Yay! So after the video, you can go to my blog, SueStampfield.com, and check that out. If you would like to get the blog post that will coordinate with this video that has all the pretty pictures of the cards, you can go to SueStampfield.com, and instead of clicking on project sheets, you can click on blog posts to subscribe to those. Okay, so exciting. Are you guys ready? It is very late in August here. We are at the tail end of August, August 30th. Usually Crafternoon videos are the third weekend, but this month there was just too much going on, so I needed to just push it back a little bit. And so, yeah, Arlene says they are absolutely detailed. Arlene, I think, has every tutorial I've ever done for Crafternoon. Thank you, Arlene, and I'm so glad that you love them. I work very, very, very hard on them, and so this one I got uploaded like seriously 10 minutes before for this video. So I love it when I can do that. The blog post will be coming out later. I need time to get the pretty pictures and all the things, but the tutorial is there. I want to show you what we're making. Okay, is everybody ready? I'm going to go to the desktop here. All right, there we go. So I'm going to start by showing you the card. And I'll show you the fold here, and then I'll walk you through it. Now, in this video, I'm going to be giving you the basic measurements for the fold, the card base, and the pieces that you need to make the fold. I will not be giving you the designer series paper measurements or the embossed pieces. Those are all in the tutorial, and it just gets confusing when we're throwing around all these different measurements. So this is the card. It looks like a standard card, right? This one is called the Triple Display Easel card. So we start out with display 1 when they pull it out of the envelope for their beautiful card. And then when we open it up here, we've got another beautiful scene right here that looks nice. And then we have number 3, which is the easel. So they can, let me put it down on the desk here. Let's see if I can tilt it so you can see it a little bit closer. So of course it stands for display. We've got a little easel stand here inside the card that makes it look nice. And then this particular card, now this one that we're going to make, I think I'm not super wordy, so you could certainly sign it right in this portion here, so then when they open up they can see it, and then when they stand for display your signature will be in there. Or you can actually flip it over and write your inside message and any greeting you want to stamp on the back. So this is the triple display card. This is the one that we're going to be making today. Now, some of you, if you got a packet in the mail, or if you're a team member and cut a packet, I used multiple patterns of this paper. So your packet might look slightly different than the one I'm using. Which one am I using? Let's see. Yep, I'm doing the blue one. I'm doing the Night of Navy one. So they do vary slightly based on what's in your pack, but they look nice. I think they all look great, which is why I picked these patterns. These particular ones that I picked happen to, this is the same pattern, depending on which side is up. I hope I'm saying that appropriately. Here's our pretty peacock version right here, just like that. So now, those of you who have a packet, you've actually got a choice here, because this is the same pattern and it just depends which side you want up. You could actually go with a more monochromatic look if you prefer, and just do the same side up on both pieces. I suppose you could do the flowers up here and this be the solid. I mean, you could, it's entirely up to you. It is your choice. So this one, this set I did with all of the sort of monochromatic side up. So let's look at some of the other versions I made with these cards. I had so much fun diving into some of the new products that are in the upcoming Stampin' Up! Mini catalog, September to December. Mini catalog launches next week on Wednesday. These products will be available then. There's also some brand new online exclusive products, and I had a great that'll be launching on that same date. So I'm going to start with the Autumn Toile. This embossing folder back here. I'm going to cheat and look at my my tutorial, my extensive tutorial. Let's see, it's 20 pages this month. That's not too bad. It's pretty good, Sue. Sometimes I get carried away. This is a Gathering Leaves embossing folder in the background here. That one is an online exclusive. I am in love with this Autumn Toile suite. This is the Autumn Toile paper here, and that suite has 2 bundles in it. This particular one is the Amber Autumn, is where this one comes from. And then these embellishments that I'm using here are also an online exclusive that are with some other fall products, and they're Cajun Craze and gold speckles. I'm sure you can't see the gold speckles on the camera, but believe me, they're there. So let's open this one up and see what it looks like on the inside. So, wow. Okay, this one is, so here's view 1 of our triple display easel card. Here's view 2. It's in the background. We have this intricate die that cuts these leaves. In the tutorial, I've got some great tips for you on how to get a great cut every time with this. Walk you through that. And then at the bottom here, we have Blessed to Have You in My Life. So we've got our third way to show it off with that display. Because this card base is Cajun Craze, I chose to do the sentiment, the writing bit on the back, and I added a little bit more of that pattern of the Autumn Toile paper. Stampin' Up! Has done an outstanding job in this mini catalog of giving many of the bundles I felt had multiple uses. So or suites, I should say. So the Autumn Toile suite also makes great masculine cards. So in addition, so one of our other alternates is also with this same suite of products. But this time I used the Autumn Trees bundle, which has the deer in it. And I used another new bundle called Branching Out. It is completely awesome. It's a huge set of nesting label dies, and it has the happiest birthday wishes in it. This is another pattern of the Autumn Toile paper. And once again, I used the Gathering Leaves embossing folder back here. Now, you could also use like the Festive Plaid for that masculine feel. But even though it's leaves, it's not super obvious that it's leaves. It's just a nice pattern. So this one, there's view 1. Now on this one, I changed it up a little bit and I put a designer paper on that inside, where the others I did embossing back here, the ones I've shown you so far. And then we've got our easel stand right here. So there is display number 3. Let me tilt that up for you so you can see it. And then once again, on the back, I'm so glad you like the cards, Jana. And then on the back, again, I just put a piece of Very Vanilla on the back. This one is Pecan Pie, is the color I chose for this one. And just kind of a deer color, right? And then a little bit more of that Autumn Toile paper at the top. I love fall. Fall is my favorite time of year. Absolutely love autumn. Now, for my friends tuning in from the South Pacific, masculine card like this, just change out the greeting, would be great for Father's Day, which I believe in September for you. And even though it's not autumn in Australia in September, I don't think this screams autumn. I think it screams masculine. So I think you're safe there. And then But because I love autumn, I also used another suite. Now this suite is actually an online exclusive, and it's called Gathering Together. And it is a gorgeous paper that has, I don't know if you can see I'm trying to trick my camera into showing off these gold highlights here. There's beautiful gold highlights in the paper. This is also part of the paper here. So this one, once again, I use that Gathering Leaves embossing folder. This does come as part of this suite. That's where that folder comes from. And then I use gold foil just to play up those gold highlights that are in the paper. And then the little acorn here is from let me test my knowledge. Not very good. What's that bundle called? Gathering Moments is the name of the bundle. That's where the sentiment and the little acorn comes from. So here's view 1 on this triple display easel card. Here's view number 2 right there, and then view number 3. Now this one I decided to put designer paper on the lower section. You can really customize and change up this card this fun fold card in so many different ways depending on what you want to showcase of your fun supplies, okay? And then on the back side, it is gorgeous paper. On the back side, again, I decided to add a little bit more of that beautiful paper and another embossed sentiment. This paper would also be great for decorating your Thanksgiving table with like napkin ring holders and whatever, because it is just gorgeous. And there's multiple patterns that have leaves and just slightly different colorations. I chose the one with green leaves because I wanted to use this green pattern. So let's keep going. I've got just technically 2 more. So this is card number 5. I did lots of variations this time within some of them, and this is another one that I did 2 variations of. So this first one is a sympathy card that really spoke to my heart this week. We've had a very sad event take place here in Minneapolis, and I just felt the need to make a sympathy card. This suite is absolutely gorgeous. It is called Peaceful Garden, and it can be Christmas, it can be sympathy. It's very versatile, kind of like the Autumn Toile. It's got a lot of versatility to it. So in this one, I used the beautiful dove here. These are the hues of blues. There's white ones in there. Hues of blues flowers. And these labels are also part of the suite. The suite also comes with a gorgeous embossing folder. So the one on the front here I did so that it aligns with the label I have on the front. But when we open up the card here, like this, I had it go the standard way. And then it just shows like some extra space and shape behind, so it still works. And then we, of course, there's view number 3 is right here, standing for display. It's trying to hold it in midair, and it doesn't want to stand when I hold it in midair. Funny how that works. There we go. And then on the back side, I also did some layers here and my sentiment on the back. So, you're just in time, Rochelle, because we haven't got to the creating part yet. And then, like I said, this suite is super versatile. And so I also did a Christmas version of this card, and it is exactly the same card. I just switched out the patterned paper and the sentiment on the front. So it says Peace on Earth, which also spoke to my heart after the incidences this week. And then it opens up like that. And then the inside is right here. So again, I just chose a little darker and more bold pattern on the paper. And then on the back of our card, we have this, wishing you peace, love, and joy. And so I love that Stampin' Up! Did this versatility. You wouldn't normally think a stamp set or a bundle could be Christmas and sympathy, but this one absolutely lends itself beautifully for both events. So, and there's some other sentiments in there as well that can go for another variety of other things. All right, so are you guys ready to learn how to make the triple triple display easel card. Let's go ahead and dive right in. I'm going to grab my packet here. Those of you that are creating along with me, hopefully you've got your supplies. Now, again, the people that are creating with me placed a $50 order in my online store in July and then got this packet to create with me. If you would like to create with me in the September Crafternoon, you can place an order today or tomorrow and you will get in on that. You do have to place your order in August. Oh, Mercy wants to join the party. Hold on. Hi, honey. I don't have a dog bed in here for you. I took the dog bed out. She's needing something. All right, we're going to open this up and get out all of our supplies. All right. So let me pull them out here. And again, in your note, you've got some different supplies that we need, just dimensionals, adhesive, bone folder, and then an ink pad. Now, the ink pad I'm going to be using, I'm going to pick an ink pad that matches my leaves. And my leaves in my packet here are navy, so I'm going to use Night of Navy. If your packet is this version with this Blackberry Bliss pattern, then in Blackberry Bliss leaves, I used Blackberry Bliss ink. And if your packet is this version with the Pretty Peacock leaves, I used Pretty Peacock. So you can match the leaves with the ink that you have, or if you don't have it, use black. It'll be fine. Okay, so let's hold on to our little embellishments. They're hidden in this Post-it note. We're going to set this aside. Linda said she's just watching for now. That's a good option, Linda, to just watch it first and then make your card, just in case there's an oops, right? I'm that way too. I'm a visual learner. I like to watch the whole thing first and then go back and make the card. So we're going to go ahead and, this would be a great card to make for nursing home residents because it makes a nice display so it can decorate the room too. Great idea, Sally. All right, I'm going to go ahead and crease this. So this is our card base. It is 4 1/4 by 11. By the way, the finished card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is the standard here in the US. So this is 4 1/4 by 11, and it is scored at, let me think for a second. Actually, don't think, Sue. Just look at your notes. 1 inch and 6 1/2 inches for the card base. So 4 1/4 by 11 scored at 1 and then 6 1/2. And then I am creasing that and making 2 mountain folds on my card. Okay, so I'm going to go back in with my bone folder, just get those nice and flat. All right, so we're going to be adding this flap to the front, but before I add it, I need to get my decorative pieces on here. So again, all of the measurements for the decorative pieces are in the tutorial, but I'm going to go ahead and add this embossed piece. I use the Pressed Petals embossing folder, which is a very detailed embossing folder, and you can see when you emboss your cardstock with a very detailed folder, sometimes your cardstock will buckle a little bit just because the folder is so detailed. So I want to make sure I put my adhesive, where is my adhesive? Oh, found it. I want to put my adhesive all the way around the perimeter of this piece. Now, if you're putting on a very flat piece of cardstock, you certainly don't need adhesive all the way around the perimeter, but if your cardstock is a little bit adjusted because of the embossing folder, that's a great way to solve that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and adhere this to the lower portion. This is going to be the front of the card. This is below that folded top flap section. Now I'm just going to open my card all the way just so that I can see the top edge, so that I can get it on straight, right? I'm looking to about have the same amount of spacing on the top, bottom, and sides, but because it's white on white, it's pretty hard to tell if you're off. So it'll hide any little imperfections there. So I've got that adhered. That's sticking really well because I put adhesive all the way around. So yeah, don't lose any of the pieces, Linda. All right, so we've got our embossed panel on. Now we're going to add a piece of designer paper up here. Now you might have noticed in some of the I think actually in all of the versions that I did, I used embossed panels here. You could also use a designer paper here. It doesn't have to be embossed. The embossed panels and designer paper panels can be rotate it out. You can, do whichever. Now again, this piece could be either side up. I'm going to go with the navy to kind of tone on tone monochromatic side up for this. All right, so again, these pieces, all the measurements will be in the tutorial, which is now available on my blog. All right, so we got that top piece on there. Now we're going to go to this. This is our front flap. This piece measures 1 3/4 inch wide by 5 1/4. In some of the alternate versions, let me grab one like this one right here. I did multiple layers on that, but that is the size on all of the front flaps are that full size, or that size I just gave you. And then based on which tutorial you're doing, I've got the measurements for the other parts. So we're going to go ahead and add our designer paper here, and this is where you can decide if you want to do the monochromatic side up or the pretty floral side up. I'm going pretty florals. Stick that right on here. Now this is the Floral Charm Designer Series paper. This paper is on sale this month because it has a new in color in it, Timid Tiger, on one of the back sides, on one of the B sides. And that sale goes just through tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day of the month. Okay, so next we're going to attach this to our card. I chose to attach it with dimensionals. You don't have to. You could attach it flat. It's your choice. But where you stick it on is pretty critical for our card here. So I'm going to grab a couple dimensionals and I'm going to put them on right on that top flap, kind of next to each other, leaving a little space in from the side. And I'm going to peel off. I know, Arlene, the tutorial is ready. Woohoo! And then we're going to go ahead and put this on here. And I want to stick it on, but I want the bottom edge flush with the bottom of my card, which will leave me just a little bit of space at the top to see that pretty paper behind. And I'm going to leave the same amount of space to the right. So I've got an even-ish edge on the top and the side, okay? So that is the part, that's the flap that's going to form our easel. So now that I have that on, I'm going to open my card up. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add a panel back here. You saw in some of the cards that I did a die cut back there. Some of the cards I did an embossed panel like we're about to do, and then some of the cards I did designer paper. Again, you can mix and match and switch those out, your choice. We're going to use an embossed panel for this. This is again the pressed petals, and again I'm going to go ahead and surround the perimeter of my cardstock with adhesive because of that slight buckling that happens with a very detailed embossing folder. And we're going to go ahead and pop this inside. Okay, so there we have, there it is. If I tilt it that way, I think you can see it. I love white on white, you guys know that, so sometimes it's hard to see. All right, we're going to just set that aside, and we're going to grab our easel piece. This is for the inside of the card. This measures 4 1/4 by 1, okay? And before I stick it in there, I'm going to go ahead and put on this layering piece. Once again, these layering pieces, all the measurements are in the tutorial. And we'll just pop that right on there, like so. Now this is the easel stand. This is what's going to make our card stand for display. So I want to raise this up as a little kind of a stopper for this panel to rest on. So I'm going to add dimensionals to the back of this. This would also be a great application for the freebies on your dimensionals, those extra border pieces. You could just throw that on here. I'm going to add 4 on here, 3, 4, whatever you want to do. Awesome. So we've got our 4 dimensionals on there. Now I want to place this inside my card, and I'm actually going to just very lightly rest it inside, and then I'm going to test it and make sure I have it in the right spot. I am putting it on so that it's about a 1/2 inch from the edge, but I want to make sure that that's going to work for it to stand. Okay, that looks like that's the right spot. It's got a place to rest. It's trying to jump over. And so I can go ahead, I feel like confident that I can go ahead and just press that in place now. Some of them, I mean, you can do a 1/2 inch, you can do 5/8 inches. You can, some of them, let's see, did I see one here that was a little bit more inset from that? Anyway, you just want to test it out. No, that one is about the same here. So, so just make sure before you press it in place that it is going to be in the right spot. Now I'm going to go ahead and close this back up, and I'm going to work on decorating the front of my card. Okay, so I'm going to slide that to the side, and I'm going to bring in our little circles here and our leaves. So the circles were die cut from Stylish Shapes dies, amazing, amazing dies. The bigger circle is going to be our layering piece, and the smaller circle is going to be our greeting. For our greeting today, I am using the Thanks for Being You sentiment, which is part of the Charming Day bundle. Now, what I like about this sentiment, Thanks for Being You, is we talked about this in one of our videos, and you guys agreed with me that Thanks for Being You can be not only a thank you card, but also a birthday card, because you're thanking them for being them and being awesome, and you want to celebrate them. So this card could be used for really anything. I'm going to go ahead, and this is where I want to use the ink that matches my leaves. My leaves, again, are Night of Navy. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up my sentiment here. Hang on, I'm just checking the tutorial. I want to make sure I'm going in the right order, and I am. Okay, good. All right, excellent. So I've got this inked up, and I'm just going to stamp that inside my circle right there, like so. And then we're going to, before we stick that on, we're going to stick our leaves inside. So for our leaves, here, let me grab this one. You can see this leaf here is going to be completely hidden under the circle. The next 2 leaves are going to be just hitting the outer edge of that circle, and the last 3 leaves will be sticking over. You want to do that so that your leaves don't hang out and keep the card from being able to go in an envelope. So I'm going to lay my leaves in place on my circle, and then I'm going to grab a dimensional and stick it on top of the leaves, which will hold the leaves in place, but also will give me a place to stick my sentiment to. And I'm going to add just one more dimensional right next to that one, so that my sentiment doesn't go anywhere. All right, so I've got my 2 dimensionals on. I'm going to pull this off. The name of the die set with the leaves is Charming Day. So the sentiment comes from the stamp set, and the leaves come from the bundle. So, and they're the part of this Floral Charm suite of products. So, all right, we've got this. I want to look at, you want to go to your card here and just, I like to angle the leaves downwards. So I'm going to just lay this in place and place my sentiment, you know, make sure the leaves are where I'm going to want them to end up before I add my words. Because the beauty of circles is you can rotate it until you get the words on there, and then you're kind of stuck, right? And then I'm going to put some adhesive just on one side here. If I put adhesive all over it, I would glue my card closed, and then the easel part won't work. So I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive, and I'm just using standard adhesive for this part. You can use glue dots if you want. I just used a regular adhesive, and you can slide it on here. Now if there's a pretty flower or something, you can go slightly up or slightly down. It doesn't have to be right in the center, but that's where I'm going to put mine, and I'm just going to give that a press. All right, so I'm going to close up my ink pad before I have an inky error. Because I got a lot of white cardstock going here. All right, so we've got that in place right there. And now we're going to add our embellishments. So inside your sticky note that I mailed you, if you open that up, you're going to see the little iridescent pearls right there. Okay, and again, these circles are part of the nesting circles that are available in the Stylish Shapes dies. Ooh, Ooh, I just barely have this guy on here. So, got him. I'm going to put two, I'm using the small ones. I'm going to put two right here above the S there. And I'm going to do the other one right down here. You can put them wherever you want. Just a little bling there to decorate our card. And that is it, friends. That is our triple display easel card. Let's look at it one more time. So number one display is right here when they pull out of the envelope. And then when they open it up, this will flop down and they can see this pretty view. And then they can stand for display like so. And let me see if I can raise it up here without it collapsing on me. Hold it up with my finger. And then, of course, on the back side, you can add any sentiments. You can add more designer paper. You can add write a big note, whatever you want. So that is the triple display easel card from the August Crafternoon. Let's take a quick review at all the different versions. So these two are exactly the same, except for I flipped this over so that I have this side is the monochromatic sides up. And then we have different pattern of that floral charm paper right there. And then we have a different pattern of the floral charm paper and two options. And then we get into autumn. Love my autumn. So this is, again, these products will be available starting September 3rd. Please keep in mind that seasonal products like autumn will be very, very popular at the beginning of autumn. So I would very highly recommend ordering sooner rather than later. So this is the Autumn Toile suite of products combined with the Gathering Leaves embossing folder, which is one of the online exclusives. And inside the card, we have the gorgeous leaves from the Amber Autumn bundle, which is part of this suite. And then Blessed to Have You in My Life. And it stands for display. So let's do this again. 1, 2, and 3. And of course, some of these have kind of have a fourth option on the back, right? Like this one right there. And then again, the masculine Autumn Toile card, which includes the Branching Out bundle, another new bundle that's coming out on Wednesday, September 3rd. And that one opens up like this. View number 2 and view number 3. And again, the fun on the back. And then we have another fun autumn suite of products with absolutely gorgeous paper. This one is called Gathering Together, and absolutely stunning. So I did a thank you card. This could also be a Thanksgiving card. And then inside we have that beautiful paper. Such beautiful paper. I had to use more of it on the inside. And then the third view. So, and then on the back, a little bit more of that pretty paper. And then the last two are with the, okay, I'm getting tired, I'm forgetting my words, Gathering Garden suite of products, which that bundle can be, wait, did I say the name right? Peaceful Garden, is that what I just said? Peaceful Garden. The Peace on Earth bundle that comes with that has both sympathy sentiments and Christmas sentiments, so I did a Christmas card version as well. This is the sympathy card version. View 1, View 2, and this embossing folder that comes with it is absolutely gorgeous. And then view number 3 when it stands for display. And then on the back we have heartfelt prayers. And then the Christmas version, Peace on Earth right here. Again, same exact card. I just switched out the patterns. I've got all the details in the tutorial for you, and the sentiment. And then inside we have that darker pattern again. And on the back of the card are wishing you peace, love, and joy sentiment. And there we have it, friends. happy Crafternoon. I hope that new fold inspired you. Thanks so much for taking part in the August 2025 Crafternoon tutorial. I have been doing this since January of 2022, so I have boatloads of other unique fun folds on my blog, SueStampfield.com. And again, if you would like the blog post that is going to be coming out for this, probably tomorrow, you can subscribe at SueStampfield.com and request that blog post. However, this tutorial is available for purchase on my blog if you go to the shopping page there. Take care, everyone. Happy creating. I'll be back tonight at 7:30 Central Time for another creative video. If you want to join me then, I'll see you then. Take care and have a great night. And thank you for making and sending handmade cards. You are making the world a kinder place. Take care. Bye-bye.